Hey everybody, it's James, Empty Pockets Garage. Trying out a new camera today, but I thought I'd do this is car oriented for once. I've been getting a lot of comments from new subscribers, the ladies, and they're asking for little maintenance tips to help them out. Well, this will be that, and it's something that'll save you money if you want to try to do this yourself. It's not about oil changes, because let's be honest, in today's modern world, take it to go get your oil changed, because by the time you buy all the tools and the time and then doing it, and especially if you don't want to crawl underneath your car, it's just as cheap to take. I take and go get my oil changed. I don't change my own oil anymore either. But sometimes there's small repairs that come along with that. That you may have to do yourself if you want to save some money. So that's what this video is about. Okay, let's say if you're like the rest of us, you have an older car and you went and got the oil changed. And today's modern plastics, your oil dipsticks, handles and everything are made out of plastic, and they too tend, after the engine's been hot and cold just by regular running temperatures, after a while, like my car is almost 14 years old, and when they went to go check the oil, they broke the top of the handle off on the dipstick. So here's to the ladies. You don't need a toolbox if you want to go to Lowe's or someplace. Not everybody has a Harbor Freight, so like Lowe's or Home Depot or something, you can buy those little canvas carry-around bags that a lot of the handyman people use to carry tools. So, and although I have plenty of tools, I thought I would do this as if I didn't have any tools to begin with. So if you need to get something like that out, obviously you're gonna have to try to get in there with a pair of needle nose pliers, because that's what's supposed to be on the end of it. Now you can get this if you're trying to figure out the part you need. You can go to any of your local parts stores, and even if you don't know the year, make, and model, or even not even that, you probably know that, you may not know the engine size, the local parts people will be able to look that up for you and help you out. But in case you're like me, I try to buy a lot of my parts off Amazon and save some money. So if you don't know the year, make, and model of your car, the best way to find that out is to open up your car door, and right there it'll have the manufacturing date, which this was January of 2011, which makes it a 2011 car. It is you need to know the make, which this is a Chrysler product. It's a Dodge Charger, which is model as a Charger, and it's an RT, which, if you don't know that, that means it's a V8. And if you want to know what size V8 it is, you just get under your hood, and right there will tell you the size that it is. This engine is a 5.7 liter. So, and in this case, this one even have the year on it. Some of them don't. The newer cars do, so that's pretty good. So this is all about trying to fix something when you have nothing to start with as far as tools wise. So I went to the local Rural King, and what you want is a pair of needle nose pliers, and they got to have teeth right there on the inside to give you grip on that, because hard to see, but there's a little piece of metal of the stick sticking out in the broken plastic. So we're going to get that out. And I bought my dipstick, like I said, off Amazon, and you usually save about 15%. And when you're looking at prices, try to get it where it's got free delivery. If not, make sure that the price of the delivery and the price of the part is still cheaper than going to the parts house. Now, if you are worried about things like, let's say if we was purchasing an alternator or something like that, and you don't have to deal with the returns in case there's something wrong with it or warranty, then your best bet is to spend a little bit of money and buy it local so you have somebody you can go back on. It's kind of hard to do if you buy it off Amazon or someplace like that. Now, saying that, I buy a bunch of parts off Amazon and off eBay, because the name of this channel is Empty Pockets Garage, and it's named that for a reason, because it may not always have empty pockets, but your funds are low. So there's always try to find ways to cut corners. Like this here is $9.99 new, and it's actually made quite well. Like I said, you got to make sure it's got the teeth inside the needle nose part, so you have something to grab on. So you spend $10 on this, and I can't remember the price on this because I've had this for a little while, but it wasn't much. I think it was like $10 too. So these two things right here, the part and the tool, is less than the labor alone that a mechanic shop would charge you to try to get that out of there, which is ridiculous. So this is all about trying to do little things yourself. So we'll get into it. Yeah, now another thing, if you want to do some continuous maintenance on your vehicle, invest in a cheap pair of mechanics gloves, especially the ladies. You don't want to get a bunch of crap on your nails and stuff like that. Plus, if you're not used to working on stuff like this, you may pull and tug on something and slice your hand open, and you don't want to do that either. So just go, you can do it if you buy your parts locally. Just go to the parts house. They always have these mechanics gloves. You can get them anywhere: Lowe's, Home Depot, O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Advance. Anywhere you go, they'll have and you don't have to buy an expensive pair, but make sure they fit. You don't want them too loose, because you're going to try to have to hold on to things with this. So, and then even the little things like getting this off the package. I carry a pocket knife. Probably a lot of ladies don't, but a pair of scissors will just cut the little plastic zip ties that hold it on the cardboard. So let's get into this and see how easy this actually is, and the ridiculous price a lot of shops would like to charge for this. Some shops have like a minimum of 1 hour, even though this here won't take 60 seconds. Even if they're a reputable shop and they're honest, they still will have to charge you 30 minutes. And you know, if it's like $125 an hour, you figure that up. When I got $10 in the tool and $10 in the part, you know, so it's far less than just the price of the labor. So let's see if we can get in here, and believe it or not, it's going to be this easy. I kind of chewed on this a little bit to get the plastic out of the way of the centerpiece of the metal strap, and all you do is squeeze and pull, and just pull it out. That easy. Broken part out. I just saved you probably $40 minimum to do that. Now we'll get the new one in there, and that's the check oil. A lot of people don't know the system. Checking oil, make sure the engine is off to check your oil, and if you just ran the engine, let it set for 5 minutes plus so the oil can drain back down into the oil pan, so you can get a true reading of how much oil is in there. And the dipstick will have measurements on the end to let you know where the oil should be. And if it's low, and a lot of people, if you go buy your oil, if you just need a quart from a parts house, usually the people will put it in for you, so you don't have to really measure it out yourself. And then the second thing you need to know about checking your fluids is if you got an automatic transmission, you need to have the engine running on level ground. It's level ground checking oil too, but on the transmission you make sure it's running, and the dipstick is usually somewhere closer to the firewall, and it'll usually say right on top that it's for the transmission, and it has an indicator on the end of the stick just like the oil stick does. But make sure it's running in park and that it's on level ground. That's the two fluids that you check on a regular basis besides windshield washer fluid. And that is usually right here. I seen a video where a young lady put her windshield wiper fluid where her engine goes in the engine. That's not good. And when you're checking your coolant level, this is usually you have an overflow bottle or a tank, and then there's a mark right down here on the side, and it says full one cold or full one hot. And you check it depending on if you're checking it cold or whatever, and then you just buy pre-mixed gallon of antifreeze and you put it in here till you get the right level. You do that and you're pretty much going to make sure that everything is running correctly with the right fluids, so that will never be an issue. And so, like I said, this here's where your windshield washer fluid goes. So let me get this done. I'll be right back with you. We'll check to see how low my engine oil is. Okay. So we got the new stick. Down in there she goes. Push all the way down till it's flush. Pull it out. Right on the money. Full. Now I had my oil changed. Oh, I'd say 1,000 miles ago. So, and they broke the dipstick when they went to check the oil, because it's old and it's plastic, it's brittle. Like I said, it'll happen. But hopefully these tips will help, not necessarily just the ladies, but people who are not car oriented, to just at least safely have a economical fix on a minor problem. And the same thing with your transmission dipstick. That gets brittle too and can break off just like this. But if you have something like this, like I said, you make sure it's got teeth. You make sure it's got teeth there, so that's what's going to grab it right there. That's it. I didn't use gloves because I'm just an old mechanic that has learned a lot of bad habits. But gloves is a good thing to own. Put that in your tool pouch. I'll do one here in the near future of going to the store and showing you the tool pouches that will work for you, the price of them, like I said, and then we'll get into buying small tool sets. And even if some of you guys get rambunctious, I'll show you a cheap jack and jack stand setup you can buy at your local parts houses, or you can get it on Amazon for not a whole lot of money compared to what you need it for. If you want to do stuff like greasing your car, your steering parts and stuff like that. And also, a lot of modern cars, there ain't that many grease spots or places to grease anymore, because it's all pre-packed sealed bearings. So, but I'll show you a way to get around that too, because no matter what they say, even if they ain't got a grease cert to put grease in it, there is a way to put grease in it to extend the life of your steering parts. That'll be another video. But until then, this is James. This is Empty Pockets Garage. I'm out of here.